Vodka, and we're joined now by DeShawn Shead.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you, DeShawn?
Doing well. How's it going, guys?
Pretty fun opportunity to talk to you. Guess I'll ask you kind of what the mood's been like this week. You guys had a big win, but a very emotional game last Sunday against Atlanta. What's this work week been like for you guys?
Well, we're just back to football. After last week, it was a great matchup, a great NFC matchup. We treat, every game to the championship game, and that was the atmosphere last week. Going into this week, it's another championship opportunity, and so the atmosphere is the same as last week. Go in there, prepare, and get ready for another championship game.
DeShawn, let me ask you, what's clicked for you? What's clicked for you as far as a player? Because, man, you have made so many plays. You had a great camp, and you're knocking away lots of passes. But what do you feel like has really clicked for you?
Well, just going out there and just focusing on my technique day in and day out, and letting my hard work and preparation take over on the field. And so just going in and day out and going against some of the best receivers in this league every day, and just working my craft every day and playing with the best.
Did you feel something, though? I mean, did it feel all of a sudden like something just all of a sudden snapped for you, or was it a gradual process?
Well, one thing I think that actually helped a lot, this season is my first season playing one position.
Yeah, because you're getting moved around a lot.
Yeah, so, I started games strong safety, free safety, corner, nickel, all around. And so this year the coaches gave me a great opportunity to actually focus just on corner all through the OTAs, all through camp was just that corner. And to be able to have that opportunity to, at one position, allow my game to excel, and I can focus on the little things and, focus in onto my technique and just keep grinding.
It's quite the road. I mean, I think of you last year competing at safety and get thrown in at corner, and to be now not just a good cornerback. I mean, you go and look at the Pro Football Focus things. I mean, you're up there in the top 5 right now for efficiency. How comfortable are you? And me being a former safety, what do you like better, safety or corner?
To tell you the truth, I'm a corner at heart. I'm a corner at heart. I started 3 games in college at corner my first 3 years, and I started my senior year at strong safety. And one of the only reasons why I went to strong safety in college was because teams stopped throwing the ball to my side, and my coach felt like I'd be more of an impact behind the ball.
We're talking with DeShawn Shead here at Seahawks Weekly. Watching your development, your growth from an undrafted rookie from Portland State, a guy who went to college and was a decathlete at the beginning. It's been really fun to see kind of how that's happened. What's it felt like from your perspective? Has it felt like gradual progress? Did you ever wonder if you could get to this point?
Oh, no, it was definitely gradual progress. And to be here in this backfield with one of the best strong safeties that ever played this game, one of the best free safeties that ever played the game, and corner as well. And so to be in this atmosphere as a defensive back, everybody say what position you play. I say DB. So just to be in this atmosphere, and it allowed my game to grow year after year, day after day. Each day. The little mistakes I make here and there, I go in and try to analyze them and see how they play them and how they played, if they made that mistake or if they was in the same position I was, and I watched them and try to excel my game and put a piece of everything that they do and create my own game. And so just to be in this backfield with these amazing players and it's amazing talent, just to have the level of the level of talent back there just excels my game, and the competition that we have, it's day in and day out. It's unwavering. So you got to come in each day and compete on the other side of the ball too with the receivers we have. Every day is a battle. We breathe competition. We preach competition, and just to go in there and have that battle every day, I think that excelled my game year after year. And I could put on the tape from my rookie year to my second year to my third year, and I can see my level of growth each year as I've been in this league.
I'll stay on the Portland State part, Big Sky. My son played at Cal Poly, and so I get the FCS, FBS, and I said, you'd be surprised. I go, the talent level is pretty good. I mean, it's not that far out. The size of the lineman's different, the depth can be, but talk about that experience and what you think maybe it did to prepare you, because it is a wide open, Big Sky, pretty wide open throwing the football.
Oh, yeah. Big Skies, all it is pass game. 10 personnel, 11 personnel. It's the base personnel in that league. And so to play corner in that league, you're going to actually to play for Jerry Glanville. So I played for Jerry Glanville. Mouse Davis was our offensive coordinator. Well, they ran the run and shoot offense my first 3 years. I played for 3 years. They ran the run and shoot offense. So a lot of times the offense would go 3 and out, right? So what does that mean? More snaps on the field for defense. We averaged 90 snaps on defense a game. And so just going in and having all those reps, I think, actually helped.
DeShawn, I want to ask you about, I was a track athlete in high school, and I see that you were a decathlete at some point. So tell me, what was your strength, and then what was maybe your weakest event
in the decathlon?
In the decathlon.
Well, we talk about my strength first.
Yes.
Decathlon's 10 events. Well, my main event, like I do individual, is 110 high hurdles.
Okay.
I could do that. I could wake up and run hurdles with no preparation. But the hurdles, I was pretty good at that. Then I'd probably say the sprints, the 100 and the 400-meter dash. And then shot put was actually my next.
Really?
Event. Yeah. I threw a 16-pound shot put about 50 feet.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
Yeah. But now some of my worst events was that 1,500. Oh, man.
See, there's no shame in that,
1,500.
DeShawn, because that's just painful.
Oh, yeah. So I would literally, everybody be warming up, running back and forth, doing their little strides and everything. And I'd literally just be sitting there just waiting for the gun, get ready for the start. And I would literally walk up right before the start and get ready to go. My goal was to finish the race.
Yeah.
just finish the race.
Yeah, I want to know about pole vault. He's asking you about pole vault. Seems to me to be the most insane. Like, whoever came up with that idea is nuts. I think that most people who try and do it, we're going to have you run as fast as you can. And take, how long is the stick? Is it like 15 feet?
Yeah. It depends. It varies.
And then you're going to plant that, and I'm going to use that to, like, after I put myself, so my head, if I go backwards, is going to hit the ground. How'd you do the pole vault?
Well, first, this is how I got started with the decathlon in high school. I was a daredevil. I grew up in Palmdale, California, so we had dirt and deserts everywhere. So what that means, there was a lot of bike jumps. And so I was out there running around on bike jumps, trying to jump, doing all the crazy stuff. And so when I got out the track, I was like, man, I want to try pole vault. You know what I mean? I was that daredevil. But my school, we didn't have no pole vault pitch and everything. We practiced in the long jump sand pit with the sticks.
Oh my God.
That's Palmdale for you.
Wow.
And so, but I happened to do well at it. I ended up getting my high school record in pole vault and doing well. And then my coach figured I was already a hurdler and I could do the pole vault. He was like, well, you already do the 2 hardest events. Let's go ahead and just throw you in the decathlon.
Yeah.
And
Well, were you a kid? You said jumping your bike and things like that. Was your mom taking you to the emergency room?
yeah, there was times where
Stitches and whatnot?
oh yeah, I had all kind of bruises on my back, on my legs. There was time the doctors thought I was getting physically abused. But it was just me out there just being reckless out there.
Like, no, I actually do this to myself.
I do it to
Then they're
myself.
worried.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about it.
DeShawn Shead is our guest here, Seahawks Weekly. It's one of the favorite things we do each and every week. We're at Pearl Bar and Dining in Bellevue's Lincoln Square. One of the coolest memories that I have covering the team, and I've been fortunate enough to cover the Seahawks now since 2005, is after the Denver game, 2014. I believe
yeah.
that's the right game.
No, that was definitely the
Everybody is pumped up, and everybody's coming into the locker room afterwards. They beat Denver, the team they played in the Super Bowl the year before, in overtime. And Sherman's running out. He doesn't really want to talk to anybody, and we can't figure out what's going on. And everybody wants to get out to the field because they knew you were proposing.
Yep, definitely. Right after that game, I knew that was the only way that game that I can do it with surprising my wife or fiance at the time. So the reason why I used the Denver game was because I use that as a Super Bowl rematch. So a lot of people wasn't able to make it to the Super Bowl. So I was able to get my family there and her family there all at the game at the same time because it was the Super Bowl rematch. And she had no idea.
Did your family all know what was going to go down?
Oh, yeah, they knew. They knew. And I actually flew her sister in from D.C., but that was a surprise. We sat them in a whole different section, so she didn't even know they were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you kept it from everybody but your fiance. I mean, you kept it from her. Everybody else knew.
Yep, everybody else knew.
Yeah.
And she said she's a mastermind at picking up on those type of things, but I was able to get her.
Yeah, nice work. How's married life? Sorry, Danny. How's married life treating you? Do you feel like I felt like once I got married, I could.
His wife's right here. What do you think he's going to say?
Well,
Yeah,
of
she's
course,
listening.
She's lovely. You love being married. All of those things. But no, I mean, how does it positively affect your game? Because I always felt so much more settled after I got married because that was just one less thing. I felt more secure, and I felt like I was a better player.
Oh, definitely.
Of course, he's going to say that. No, but
She
seriously,
makes me a better player as well, too. So.
Yeah.
No, but just waking up every morning knowing I got a beautiful wife who loves me, beautiful baby girl who's 18 months now, and just knowing that and knowing that joy and having that joy, there's nothing that can happen on the football field that can get me upset or angry. And so that keeps me positive and just willing and hungry and trying to provide for them. Now I got a family now, and our family's growing. We got another one on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Appreciate it. We got a baby boy on the way.
Oh, you got a boy and a
That's
girl.
awesome.
Got a baby, yeah.
Wow.
And so just to be able to provide for my family and know that's what I got to do. So no mistake, no anything that I do with football can upset me because I know I got somebody at home who supports me and loves me.
So you got married this summer here in Seattle?
I did. 4 seasons Seattle.
And your wife, is she from here?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. You said D.C. Her sister's in D.C.
Yeah, her
East
sister
Lake
moved
High
out to
School,
DC.
right?
I thought,
Yeah, East
wow.
Lake.
East
East Lake
Lake.
High
Oh,
School.
there you
in
go.
Sammamish.
Girl.
There
There we
go. That's awesome. Talk about the wedding. How was that? How was the planning? Did you get to just write the check, or were you included on everything?
I wish I was able to just write the check. But I was included on every little piece, from going to check out the linens on the tables to the flowers, the decor, all the above. It was a long process.
You are a good man. He's a good man.
He is.
I try to do my best.
This is the last wedding question. Did you wear a cape?
I didn't do the cape.
There's only one guy on the team that can do the cape, right?
Yeah, there's only one guy who can pull that out well, and that's not me.
That's Earl Thomas, who's his wedding photos. Well, I mean, you had one guy get married in the castle. I figured if you put Russell's wedding, like Russell's setting, is where Earl's wedding should have been, because then he would have been like the Count Thomas that was there.
Yeah.
I also need to know where the finger wag came from. I mean, we know Dikembe Mutombo
Yeah.
used to do that. When did you start doing the finger wag?
Well, it started in practice a while back. I started doing it in practice, and it just became consistent, and everybody picked up on it and loved it. And so I brought it to the field. It was actually before I even had opportunities. I was on practice squad doing it, and so coming in, and I had my opportunity on the field, and I just kept rolling with it.
I love that you practice it on practice. I mean, that's a man that knew where he was going, right?
Exactly.
You knew.
I had my mindset for it.
Do you film it and critique yourself on? No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, like how many times? Do I wave it 3 times to the side? Do I go to the left 2 times? Yeah, I got to switch it up.
You keep
Let
the
me-
hand still and just
Yeah.
the finger moves.
I'm going to bring you back to last week, tied into which is potentially historically one of the greatest defense, at least the run over the last 5 years in NFL history. And we'll talk about what happened last week with Sherman. I mean, that's not important. The reaction was interesting, and we all get miscommunicated. We all have things that mess up, but, we don't always go there. But part of it, I'm telling them in the audience is, it feels like you guys don't just want to win the Super Bowl. You don't want to just be the best defense this year. You guys have something that is, you're trying to do historic, be like the greatest defense of all time. Does that tie into that part when all of a sudden you guys give up something that you know you shouldn't have?
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely ties in because we have high standards, and with battling to be the best defense, like you said, of all time, is that's when you see when things happen, the passion comes out. You see a lot of the passion because when we don't like to give up any little things that the offense didn't do or work for. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to tip your hat off to the offense when they make a great play. I mean, it's the NFL, and so, but when it's on us and it's our fault, we just try to take up on that and try to eliminate those mistakes and not let that happen. And so that's when you see a lot of the passion comes out sometimes when some of those things happen. And you're right, we're striving to be the best every play of the game. And Pete says it best. You know what I mean? Win forever. You know what I mean? Win forever and compete. You know what I mean? Compete is competing for something, not against someone. And so you got to know what you're competing for.
And DeShawn, you know, we talked about this on the post-game show on TV, and you did a great job, by the way. But, you know, explain to people how, like, I would get in fights with guys in practice, and then right afterwards we're having a beer. And
Yep.
it's kind of like
Yep.
that in the NFL. And so sort of explain how, look, you can be screaming and at each other's throats, but ultimately it's like a family, right?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this, and that's one part of the game why I love this game so much. It's just like a family. We're a family, and to go what do families do sometimes families fight. I mean, it's a lot of things that go on, and you can literally go have a fist fight or something with somebody, but right in the locker room, you talk about it and make up, and you're boys again. And that's what makes us such a great team, because when something like that happens, everybody, we go back, we talk about the mistake, you know what I mean? We'll hash it out and then move on. Move on and, I mean, still love one another like a brother. So that's one of the greatest part of this game.
Seahawks Weekly is presented by Bud Light and our sponsors, Legendary Donuts, Sparkling Ice, as well as Heritage Distilling's Batch number 12 vodka. DeShawn Shead is with us. Your group in the secondary and in the defense in general is pretty unique. The personalities you guys have together. You also have a coach who's unique. I'm wondering how you think Pete Carroll has shaped your group, and what are things that you guys have kind of determined by just the force of your personalities and that makeup there. How much do you reflect your coach, and how much is this the sort of the manifestation of your personalities?
Well, it definitely reflects a lot because it starts from the top. You know what I mean? It starts from the top for everything that we're doing, and Pete, he breathes competition. You know what I mean? He breathes it, and that's what we do. We go in there, we compete and compete and compete, and that's what strives to make us to strive for greatness or to be elite. And so, and that positive attitude that you always have. You got to have a positive attitude. It's kind of like being a corner. You got to have short-term memory. You know what I mean? When something happens, and so having that positive attitude, there's never no down moment. You know what I mean? There's never no down moment. And if something negative is happening, you always look around and see what the silver lining is in that situation, and that's what excels our game and brings us to the next level.
What's your day look like? You let them know. I mean, we kind of have an idea, but when do you get to practice, and when do you get home, and is she a good cook?
Oh, first of all, she's an amazing cook. She's an amazing cook. Well, my practice schedule.
Yeah.
Well, I probably wake up around 6 o'clock. I wake up about 6 a.m. if Savannah doesn't wake me up any earlier. But then I get into the facility around 6:30, 6:45 a.m. I got my morning routine. I might go in the steam room or sauna, you know what I mean, stretch for a little bit. Then at 8 o'clock is when we actually start our meetings. We got from 8 to 11:15 we have meetings. And at 11:15 to 12:15 we have our walkthrough. We got our walkthrough for an hour. And after our walkthrough, then we got a lunch. We eat lunch for an hour. Then after the lunch, at 1:15, we're on the field and practicing till 3:30. Then after practice, from 3:30 to actually 4:05 to about 5:30, whenever we get done with the film of watching practice, then our day is over. We get to go home, and I get to eat that amazing meal for my wife.
There you go.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean,
What's her best dish, by the way?
Man, it's a couple of them. But wait, are we talking dinner, or are we talking sweets or baked goods, or what?
Whatever you
that's
prefer,
a good question.
DeShawn. Whatever you
I'm kind of hungry, so I'll go with dinner for right now.
Dinner?
Yeah.
We got this thing that we call spicy pasta. Is one of the best dishes she made. And it's going to be a staple. Our kids are going to be, and our grandkids are going to be eating that dish.
We're here every Thursday night if you want us to try it out. And just letting you know.
Hey, let me ask you one more question, because when Paul and I were playing, what we would do, and I was talking about the communication issues that you guys had. Those are, I don't want to say easy to fix, but it's better than getting beat physically when something goes wrong. Do you guys go out and walk through, or go on the board, on film, on the chalkboard, and work through those things and figure them out the next day? Is that part of the routine?
Tell the Truth Monday. I know a lot of people heard about that. We come in and we fix the mistakes that happen in the game, and that's one of the main focus. We definitely show the highlights. You know, we can't forget the highlights of all the things we did well, but it's Tell the Truth Monday, and all the things we didn't do well, we go in there and we fix those mistakes. And the coaches do a great job at putting it into the practice schedule and letting us see that play again. But in this league, it's a copycat league. You guys know probably better than me, but you put a play on tape that works and the offenses are successful with, well, other offenses are going to try to attack us the exact same way for the next several weeks until we stop that same concept. And so we definitely got to work those concepts that we see, mistakes that we make.
Can you tell us more about Tell the Truth Monday? Because Mondays are tough. I mean, the film's there, the rooms are usually quiet. Everybody's apprehensive. They're nervous because, you have 62 great plays and you're only thinking about those 2 that you messed up on. Or, God, I didn't look like I was tough enough the way I went to go hit that guy. And you're thinking about it all night. Talk about that and how the coaches maybe are different than what you've had in the past. How do they make Tell the Truth Monday not negative?
Well, first of all, having a coach like Pete, you start off with showing all the great plays. You can't forget all the great plays that you made, and so we harp on that and we look at that and we take that into account. But then we go in and we watch the plays that we didn't do so well on. But like you said earlier, it's little fixes here and there that somebody might be outside their gap or gives a wrong technique at the line of the scrimmage or something minor as that. So the famous saying you hear, it's not always as bad as you think, and it's not always as good as you think. And so going into Tell the Truth Monday, you come in there thinking you might have had a horrible game, or it was, especially this defense, 1 or 2 plays, it don't matter what we did, 62 other plays, we try to focus on those 2 plays that we did wrong. But going into Tell the Truth Monday, they do a great job of making us feel that, it's an easy mistake. Easy mistake, and it's easily fixed, and we can get back to football.
He is DeShawn Shead. Seriously, having an opportunity to talk to you, this is really great. We're grateful you guys came down here, both of you to come down here. It's been so fun to watch your career grow from someone who kind of found a way to fit in on the team to someone who's now got a spot established as a starting cornerback. Congratulations to you, and really congratulations to you on your upcoming son as well, and your beautiful daughter.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the love and support. I'm a big believer in hard work pays off, so you just got to keep grinding, and the work is never done.
DeShawn Shead. Let's give him a big hand. We'll have Max Strong coming up next.